Belton Lake, a rocky clearwater impoundment in central Texas, and the site of the 2019 Texas Team Trail Championship, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. We've got 2 days of competition ahead and $122,000 up for grabs. But things will not be easy.
We were 12 foot high about 3 weeks ago. The Corps engineers opened the lakes. They're drawing it down about 6 inches a day now.
The water's definitely falling. There's a lot of bushes that are in the water, but some of those bushes are starting to get a little shallow now.
I think it's a totally different lake than it was 2 weeks ago. I think it's a totally different lake than it was a week ago. It can be tough in June, and I think it's going to be tough.
The title, the trophy, and the check. It's all there. All you have to do is beat 115 of the best. It's championship time, and the action starts right now. The last time the tour was here, Matt Cannon and Jared Siegler sacked up 5 for 25-22 and the win. Kurt Coker and Lloyd Stewart locked up second with a Belton limit that included a new lake record.
1397, a share lunker. Congratulations, guys.
2 years later, and things are different. High water and high pressure have more than a few teams struggling to adapt.
The lake has just, had so much current in it for the last month and a half that those fish are really out there traveling with the stripers and the hybrids. And, I caught a couple of big hybrids today, and the next cast I caught a 3-pound black mixed in with them. So all that is a shad-based steel current. So, you could be a hero or zero tomorrow, but we're gonna see what happens.
I think these fish move, they're relating to bait right now. From what I found, I think there's some fish in some bushes that are still submerged, but I think there's the fish. You just got to keep moving and keep bouncing around until you run into them.
There's fish all over the lake right now, shallow and deep. So I'm pretty sure anybody that goes out there can catch them any way they want to catch them. Key is going to be getting a couple big bites a day.
The Barnes brothers are local favorites, and they're also in the hunt for the Lucas Oil Team of the Year. With just 2 days left in the season, we've got a tight race. Jeff Reynolds and Randall Bruce are leading the field.
Our goal when we start out the season, win Team of the Year. That's just a title that, I think everybody wants. For me, it's kind of, you show your consistency over the year. You had really 4 good tournaments. I mean, you're not going to win Team of the Year without catching pretty good in every tournament. These guys are too good. And to win it, that's what you shoot for at the first year, so that's what we're hoping happens.
Starting their morning shallow, Reynolds and Bruce are throwing a variety of lures in and around flooded cover. The high water presents some problems, but can also offer new opportunities.
When you get this much water flowing through the lake, you got a lot of current going on, and right now, I think the current's helping. It's moving the bait around a lot, and for what we're doing, it's all about the bait. And if you catch them on the right point, moved up at the right time feeding, you can catch them, and you got a chance to catch some good ones. But as far as fishing, like we really like to fish, flipping bushes or fishing something shallow, they don't really position on anything like what they normally would because the lake's falling, and they don't, they're not going to stay up there very long because they're afraid the water's going to drop off of them. But when the bait moves up there, they're going to move up there with them and start feeding them. If you're in the right spot at the right time, you can get right in a hurry.
Well, I don't know if the fish have moved out of here or what, but they're definitely not pushing the bait up there shallow.
No.
How long do you wait? See if they decide to.
It's decision time. But Reynolds and Bruce aren't the only ones struggling. Ryan Warren and Jason Derrick are currently second in the Lucas Oil Team of the Year standings. They're throwing crankbaits over a shallow flat, but with the slack wind, there's no activity. And now, it's just a waiting game.
We've struggled so far. We thought we might come here and they might be on as soon as we got here, but hadn't happened just yet. So we're going to give it a little bit longer now that it looks like we're going to get to kind of move around the way we want to move and see if we can get something going.
Yeah, this spot is kind of I would call it like a feeding plate. And these fish move up here and feed. At the moment, don't feel like they're up there feeding at all. I feel like we would have been bit if they were. This is kind of one of them putting your eggs in one basket deal. We feel like this is a good hole. Feel like it has potential. And I don't know. We'll see if we made the right choice or not. It's always a gamble. That's what bass fishing is.
Moving on, we'll check in with Jedediah Holt and Cody Miller, third in the Team of the Year standings. Fishing inside a marina, they've got fish schooled under a floating dock and are having some success with plastic rubs on jig heads.
It's number 4, right?
Yep.
Well, I thought we were gonna catch more on top earlier, but now we went from fishing the bank and a ledge. We're fishing floating docks over 50 foot of water. I caught a couple keepers here yesterday. Just a bunch of bait suspended around it.
Good one, good one. Let's go, baby. That'll help the cause.
With 5 in the boat early,
Yeah.
Holt and Miller are off to a good start. Stay with us. We're just getting started with championship coverage right here on the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
You sons of fishes. Ain't enough fish on this lake for 2 clubs.
Really? Well, we see plenty of fish live with Panoptics.
Yep. Dang, we should get Panoptics. Maybe we'll just take yours.
What's going on here? You boys have license?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
There he is.
Oh, I got him.
The Texas Team Trail is presented to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. By Lucas Oil, title sponsor of our Angler of the Year program. And by NITRO Performance Fishing Boats. Belton Lake is a highland reservoir on the Leon River in the Brazos River Basin. A clear, rocky impoundment designed for flood control, Belton is prone to fluctuation, and that's exactly what anglers are up against.
It's kind of a clear water lake, but it's been up really high. They're sucking the bottom out of it. Lake's falling real fast.
You know, you had flooded bushes that you could get all into and fish, and the fish could set all in them bushes. And now with the water coming down to the edge of the bushes, I think it's just going to affect how the fish set up.
It's all about water clarity. For us, we'd had no confidence in fishing clear water. So we found the water in between. We're fishing mid-lake. If we're going to tell you one thing and one thing only we're going to do, we are going to be counting rocks on Lake Belton. It's going to be a lot of steep drop-offs and a lot of finesse fishing.
Chris and Bob Sabina are one of the teams in the hunt for the Team of the Year, as are Jedediah Holt and Cody Miller. And that's where we'll pick up tournament coverage.
It's a tough bite. It's tough. It's hard to get a big bite, but we've had a big bite or two each day of practice, and we've been here last weekend, and we've been able to get a few bites. So it's setting up good.
Get a crawfish in his throat.
Yep.
All right, now we got to get rid of one.
What, about a 2 1/4 upgrade?
Oh yeah.
We got a limit. We got somewhere between 8 to 10 pounds. I'm not really sure. Just gonna keep grinding. We're gonna work our way up the river and start looking for bigger fish. Weed through some small ones if we got to, and that's really about it. Try to capitalize. We can't miss quality bites on this lake. It's hard to come back from.
With the clock ticking, we're beginning to see a lot of teams on the move. Our cameras caught up with the father-son team of Gerald and Jarrett Raybroker. They're throwing finesse baits along a steep bank.
There's a little bit of perch spawn going on right now.
Perch bite.
We found some perch beds, but
I don't know if it's perch spawn or not, but they like this worm.
Hey.
You think a little one?
Ah, he's little, I think.
He ain't gonna help. He ain't even gonna keep.
No.
With them pulling this water, it's a lot of these guys are fishing shallow that I can see, and it's just fish have just pulled out. And that's why we're fishing these steeper banks. It's a place for them to kind of pull out and suspend, and I guess they feel safe. I don't know what, I'm not a fish, or an expert, but we found some in here, and it seems to be working a little bit for us. We're just waiting on that big girl.
Moving on, we'll check in with Brian Adams and Colton Enders. They qualified for the championship in their first year on the tour, but are off to a rocky start.
Hard to find a bunch of them schooled up in one spot, so just covering a lot of spots and hitting a lot of places to hopefully get some good bites. There's one. It's 10:30 now, and we just need to get 2 more to fill the limit. And at this point, we're just fishing real slow still and looking for big ones versus trying to catch a bunch of numbers or catch little ones. Little ones ain't gonna do much.
Adams and Enders are climbing the leaderboard. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more championship coverage from Belton Lake, right here on the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance. Mercury, go boldly.
At Mercury, there are no limits to the lengths we'll go to make sure you have no limits either. Unlimited adrenaline. Unlimited fun. Unlimited weekend. Except maybe having to go home eventually. Introducing the all-new V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
The Texas Team Trail presented to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is also brought to you in part by Ranger Boats. Still building legends one at a time. Garmin Electronics. Fight the fish, not your fish finder. By Mercury Outboards. Go boldly. And by Amphibia Sunglasses. Performance floating eye gear. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, is wrapping up our 8th season, and we owe a big thanks to all the anglers that have helped us become one of the most competitive regional trails in the country.
Best in Texas, and Louisiana, and Oklahoma. That's all you can say. You know, when you step into this game with these guys, you can't have any missed opportunities. You got to be on your A game, or you'll get sent home real quick with your tail between your legs.
It really is the trail that if you're looking for something to fish, I mean, great value.
Really, I just wanted to fish the best team trail that there is, and everybody's told me that this one's kind of like a league above the rest. So that's what kind of intrigued me to come out here and fish TXTT.
If you're interested in fishing with us in 2020, the schedule's out. The season includes a return visit to Amistad in the spring, along with the TXTT's first stop at the legendary Lake Fork. For more information, go to TexasTeamTrail.com. Getting back to tournament coverage, we'll pick things up with Texas Boat World's Scott Meads and Cliff Brown.
We'd actually had some fish we thought were going to be on a ledge, jig fishing, and we got there. We caught one keeper off of it. It wasn't a big one, but he was pretty decent fish. That one didn't pan out. We stayed there about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we moved around in that pocket, and then we decided just to hit main lake or main channel big drop-off walls. Trying to catch something that's, backing up. We were thinking that the fish were probably pulling out with the water dropping, and we did. We scrounged out a Belton limit. That's about all we've got. We haven't got the really big bite yet. We've still got a couple hours, and I think we can catch another 1 or 2 good fish. I think we've done what we wanted to do. We threw jigs all morning, finished up our limit, and then decided to spend the rest of the day out here on this deep water spot.
The crew at Texas Boat World are one of the network of dealers that support the TXTT. To find one of the preferred boat and service centers in your region, check out the sponsor page on our website. Moving on, we'll catch up with the Wersig brothers, Michael and Mark. They're up shallow, fishing fast along the rocky shoreline.
I'd say we got about 8 or 9 pounds, and we just need a couple big bites. I don't think 8 or 9 pounds is gonna be anywhere near the top, but I don't know. It's clear, sunny. I think those big ones are just kind of hard to find right now, so.
Staying just off the bank with the boat in 10 to 12 feet of water, the brothers are relying on electronics to keep them on key structure.
The one thing that really helps on those, you know, big points or those flats or wherever you're fishing is, for me, it's the live scope. I can just kind of scan around and see where my next cast needs to go. And, you know, we caught a couple. It was pretty slow. Caught a lot of white bass, but, you know, if that bite was really going on, I feel like we would have had a great chance just based on the live scope and being able to see everything.
This is Colt Ferris and Taylor Harden. They came into the championship 10th in the Lucas Oil Team of the Year standings. They've got a small limit, and they need a kicker.
Well, this morning didn't start out well. We blew our lower unit and had a completely different game plan than what we're doing right now. But we knew this area was good, and we did the 2-hour trolling motor ride over here and got us a limit with one about 4 pounds. So I think that'll do pretty good. We stayed in it and hopefully get a backup boat for tomorrow. Yeah. Net. Here we go, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Just take it easy. Here we go.
Strong. Ooh,
That's real reminiscent. Don't let her jump out there.
Well,
I know.
I use spin casters the other way, so I feel slightly.
There we go, baby. Hey, right there. Made up for that one I lost.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
should put Ferris and Harding at close to 12 pounds unofficially. Coming up, we'll bring you final coverage from Belton Lake and the 2019 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stay close.
Lucas Oil Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but will provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products. Lucas Oil, it works.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
The Texas Team Trail is presented to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Triton Boats, we take America fishing. And by Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. Welcome back to Belton Lake in Central Texas. This is day one of the 2019 TXTT Championship, and we're down to the waning hours of competition. We'll pick things up with Lucas Oil and Marine pros Stephen Johnston and Dan Wilson.
It's been a slow grind for us. We really needed that wind. We had a little front come through, and yesterday it blew, 12 to 15, and on these summer, early June tournaments, what I call Belton, Belton's kind of a rock lake. I live on Toledo Bend, fish Toledo and Rayburn, so any of these rock lakes, I call it, boy, you really need some kind of wind, and we just had some high pressure move in, and it's in the low 90s, and the only wind we get's when a boat runs by. So we had some opportunities early this morning, but there is some zebra mussels here in the lake, and I think they're just kind of showing up, and we got cut off a couple times and just had some bad breaks. But boy, on these tough tournaments like that, it's just hard to regroup from losing a good one or two. But we don't check in till 2:15, so we're gonna keep our head down and see if we can, cull a couple of them little old 14-inchers out we got. So y'all stay tuned.
Making one last stop before we head to weigh-in, our cameras caught up with Thomas Wells Jr. and BJ Carruthers. They've got a limit, and it's a good one.
We had a flurry about, the first 2 hours of the morning. We probably got 20, 21 pounds. Live well, we're looking for one more big one right now.
There's one.
You got one?
Yeah. Not big, but he's just a little one. Man, he's all scarred up, isn't he?
Yep. The fishing, it's kind of been off and it's kind of been on. I mean, there's certain places that you can go in the lake right now and you can catch, multiple fish, but a lot of fish are still scattered. I spent about 2 weeks out here before the tournament went off limits, before it went off limits. And I spent a lot of time looking for those deep fish. A lot of baits out deep, but there's just not a whole lot. I didn't see a whole lot of deep fish yet, but I'm pretty sure once they close those gates, the deep fish are gonna be there. They're gonna move out. Right now, I think they're kind of transition. I think a lot of fish are suspended, still feeding on shad. There's some fish up on the bank still eating bluegill, but for the most part, it's here or there. You can catch them anywhere right now.
Day one competition is in the books, and now we'll head to weigh-in. Checking the numbers, less than half the field brought a limit to the scales. Conditions made for a tough day on the water.
We thought there would be a morning bite, and there was not. We could not find anything till about 11. I got my first keeper.
We struggled for the most part. We caught too early, and then we really had to move around to catch the other two.
Despite the tough conditions, BJ Carruthers and Tom Wells went out and sacked up 5 for 23.36. They've got the lead, at least for the moment. Clayton Bulware and Albert Collins won the championship last year on Rayburn. They're making another run at it, putting a limit on the scales for 14.35 and 5th place. Lee Batson and John Fleming locked up 4th, weighing 5 for 14.80. Kenneth Cummins and Tom Dixon finished out day 1 and 3rd with 15.02. Trey Gross and Charles Whited are always a threat, and they'll launch day 2 and 2nd after weighing 15.89. Here's a look at the rest of the top 10 on the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's leaderboard. Carruthers and Wells have a nearly 7.5-pound lead over the field, but in this game, nothing is certain.
It doesn't matter till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day, so we got to catch them again tomorrow.
Checking in on the Lucas Oil Team of the Year, here's how the top 10 coming into the day finished out in the overall standings. Going into day 2, there are several teams capable of overtaking Reynolds and Bruce and laying claim to one of the most prestigious titles in competitive fishing. To learn more about the Lucas Oil Team of the Year program or to check out the 2020 tournament schedule, head on over to TexasTeamTrail.com.
It takes brains and brawn out here, your wits and know-how, and the rugged performance of the NITRO ZV-18 and the NITRO ZV-21. These two groundbreaking deep Vs and the relentless anglers who run them are turning heads and catching fish on the tournament trail. See how the NITRO ZV series is winning on northern waters. NITRO boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
You know a good value when you see it, but it's performance that matters on the water. You get both with Elite TI2. Popular premium features and new innovative sonar technology. See the highest detailed images of fish and structure with active imaging. Share sonar, waypoints, and routes wirelessly between Elite TI2 displays. Elite TI2, new from Lowrance.
TRX, the bold new family of bass boats from Triton. 7 awesome models from 18.5 to nearly 22 feet. TRX, huge casting decks, massive storage compartments, extreme Triton performance. TRX, the boat for back-to-back classic champions, ready to rocket you to the winner's circle. TRX, with Triton, having it all has never been so easy.